All right, what up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. And Gma already here making jokes. But now, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to do this live stream to thank everybody for, you know, helping this channel grow and reach 10K subscribers. That's a big milestone. 10,000 people is a lot of people. And it's just funny what's been going on, especially after I post I posted about this after I posted that trial with Chile and the disorderly conduct ruling and all of that. It's amazing that people, no matter what you say, they only hear what they want to hear. You know, I said it several times in that video that I made, that I don't agree with the way that Chile handles himself. I don't agree with any of that. But the fact that I could put all of that aside and just look at the objective facts of the case and how it was mishandled and how the judge was biased, I mean, all of that was obvious, but it's like they can't look past that because they're so obsessed with this one uh YouTube character. Um that's like, this if they think that that's his real personality, then you're they're goofy for even thinking that. Like, you can obviously tell, in my opinion, that that is a persona that he uses to, I guess, get his point across effectively and to draw attention. I don't think Chili is like that like in his uh everyday life, and people be crazy to think that. Like, I don't know, they just take it, for me, too serious. But what's up, Black Gold? What's up, Karen? FAQ to madness. What's up? What's up? Yeah, man, we made it. We made it. Yeah, a lot of y'all been here. Actually, most of y'all been here since the beginning. Claudette, congrats. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm gonna be focused a lot more on building up the membership, and I have a lot of plans for that membership. I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna have some courses available. I'm gonna start figuring out what things of value I can provide this community with besides the content. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been thinking about. But yeah, but the membership is going to be the biggest thing moving forward. Of course, I'm going to be taking care of, everybody who just subscribed, because I appreciate y'all. And that's why I told people I appreciate every single person. Not just, I didn't like, when I did a live stream, I didn't wait until I had a whole bunch of people in. It if I get one or two people, hey, that's each one of those people count. So, and that's how I always see it. So 10,000 is a lot, but I was doing this when it was less than 1,000, less than 500. Because I appreciate every person. I didn't have to wait till I got to a big number to appreciate everybody. Yeah, I do have a fan. Is it too noisy? I might have to turn it off. Yeah, I turned off the fan. I think that was. It's kind of hot in the room. Let me see if I can move it. Is that okay if I move that fan, or is it still too noisy? Yeah, I that was the fan. I had to move it. Okay, let me see if I can get it better. Okay, good, good. But yeah, so like I was saying, let me adjust this real quick. Okay. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna be focusing more on uh adding value to the membership. I don't know if y'all see so far. Let me show y'all. Let me see something real quick. I did go ahead and make the badges and the emojis for everybody, or for the members. Let me turn this off like this. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you. You've been here the whole time helping me out. So I just posted in the chat. Those are the badges that I've I created, and I think I'm gonna be doing some more too. Jim, what's up, Jim? Appreciate you, man. Yeah, thank you, Gma. Yeah, this is a big milestone. You know, it wasn't easy to get here. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. It wasn't easy to get here, uh, but yeah, I've been pushing out a lot of content actually, and I do still have some I do still have content that I'm gonna be posting. If you're wondering like where's my auditing content, I still have that content. I just I haven't uploaded it, but I have a what is it? I was doing some cop watching. I was filming a traffic stop. I have that. Um, I have I have this I have this content where it was like the SWAT team was at this apartment building, uh, because they was dealing with like a kidnapping case or something like that. It was some crazy situation that I was dealing with, but I was filming that, and one of the officers came from out from in, so it was two complexes near each other. One was on one side, one was on the other side. So one cop came all the way out the complex that they were dealing with, that had the situation that they were dealing with, to come all the way over to tell me to stop filming. And he was trying to arrest me for um he was trying to arrest me for filming. But I got away from him, and I did stop filming. But and the reason I did is because I can already tell that this was a tyrant, and that even though that he knew that he was gonna break the law, he was still gonna break the law. And this was during the time where, you know, I was getting ready to um, I had some things that were coming up that I need to handle, and I didn't feel like dealing with going to jail and having to sit for I don't know how long, you know, dealing with these tyrants. This right here, the case with Chili show, it's the exact reason why I don't just volunteer myself to take that ride that the clueless people say, oh, just go ahead and take the ride. You know, it's not a big deal and this and that. Those type of people don't realize that you could be in this situation that Chili's in. Cool kid, what's up? What's up? Jim Dennis say, Jesus is the real MVP. All glory to him. Hey, I agree with that 1000%. Yahshua. Yahshua is the way. Uh, Smart move. Look at Stephen Saint Germain says, "Congrats to Tinky. He congratulate me. He need your favorite troll for the party. Free Flex your freedoms." Did so, Claudette? Did Flex also have a case that I could look over? I did hear that he was locked up, but I didn't see anything or hear anything about the actual case. Or did he even see it? Did he even have a trial or anything yet? But he gets arrested a lot actually. Um, but it's just a joke. And I saw he was trying to. Somebody posted some information about the, I think it was the bail hearing for Chili, and they said he was crying and stuff like that. Yeah, but people got to understand that is a persona, that is a personality that he portrays to uh for marketing purposes, and to grow his audience and to grow his sales. It's a persona that he puts on, you know, that people take too serious and think that like that's really him in real life. Like it's a joke. That was this morning for Chili. Hey, Cajun Randy, do y'all want to watch that together? The bail hearing. If so, you can drop it. You can drop it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and we go ahead and check it out. Tommy V, appreciate you, man. He said, "Congrats, AWB." Let me start posting some of these. I'm gonna click on some of these. Yeah, but like I said, what my main focus now is gonna be adding value to the membership. Of course, I'm still gonna be doing everything else. It's just gonna be additional. Y'all also send some congratulations and thanks to Karen, because she helped me out a lot, you know. Not just on the streams, and she's helped me. She sent me things to, make sure I stayed aware and kept my channel protected, a lot of things. But yeah, so if y'all want to, let me make sure y'all see this one. But if y'all want to see that, if y'all can post the link to the what's going on with the update on Chili's case right now. I'm telling you, so many. What's up, Bridie? I'm just not seeing that comment. What's up, Bridie? Cajun Randy, what's up? What's up? Oh, I already said what's up there. I asked you for the link to this video. But yeah, okay, I see it. %1,000, Tommy V. 1,000%. All right, Randy, I see the link. I'm gonna click on it in a second. I just can't believe how obsessed they are this this guy. This one man that you know, they're more obsessed with him than his fans are, and I don't understand that. Why? What is it about him that you know, like does his personality have that much of effect on people to where they just lose their minds whenever they want to see him down bad? So like they just want it. I just want to see him fall. Like it's crazy that they'll turn away a cop lying in the courtroom, a judge being biased, the DA having her way. They'll look past not being represented by a good lawyer, like all of that stuff. They look past and just cheer for like a man who committed no crime to go to jail. It's like what type of American is that? I keep saying like people are traitors to you have to be a traitor to the country to support that, to support that level of corruption and tyranny. It's unbelievable. And that's the thing. Like I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him. I kind of think he does too much a lot of times. He but I was still able to watch it. I was still able to see the the travesty that went on in that courtroom. I was still able to see it. And how people aren't able to see that, but they only can see the character or their feelings about this character is I cannot trust the judgment of anybody who is like that. Hold on, y'all, I got this pulled up. First thing I want to say is this is likely the real Chili. This is most likely the real Chili. The persona that he puts on for his channel is just that. It's a persona. It's an online persona. This is likely the real him. But if I already knew this, I knew that he wasn't like that in real life. Anybody who does that is obviously, he's it's for entertainment purposes and also to get the point across. The hold on. Randy said was no sound. Can y'all hear it now? Put a one in the chat if you can hear the sound. No sound. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. Put a one in the chat if you can hear it. I'm gonna back it up a bit. What? Let me try this again. I don't know why you can't hear the video from the link. We hear you, but not the video. Video has no sound. Hold on, y'all. That's weird. What's the issue? Oh, hold on. Let me try this.
Briefed beforehand on First Amendment issues, so the court could have had that. That's no fault. I think it just should have been done beforehand. I also noticed that at time of sentencing, the state asked for a suspended sentence, but Mr. Castro just pushed it. And I see reasonably agitated and irritated the court into causing a sentence that is now 6 months. This man, from what I can tell, Your Honor, has no prior felony convictions whatsoever. I'm doing that upon information and belief. I haven't run the scope. I know the state could do that, but I don't see that he has any felony convictions. He's made his appearances, and I think the time in jail has been shocking to him. I know it has, because I can tell the reaction of the calls every day and how difficult it is for him. I think he pushed this and is learning a very, very difficult lesson in life. I would ask the court to consider, based upon his ties to the community, sister here, nephew, he has a whole bunch of people who wanted to come to court, which I suggested may be a very, if they're going to come here, be respectful and mindful of what's already occurred in this court. But what I asked the court to do, given his lack of any serious criminal history, his remorse for his behavior in this courtroom during that trial, and the fact that the state at the time did not want jail time, is I'd ask for an appeal bond, Your Honor, so that the issue can be, these issues can be properly raised. And so with that, Your Honor, I asked for an OR. I would just say a reasonable bail. I would suggest that since he came to the trial, since he already has gotten a taste of what inappropriate behavior in a courtroom looks like and feels like, I would ask for a bail in the amount of $10,000 or $20,000, appeal bond in the amount of $10,000 or $20,000. With that, Your Honor,
Your Honor, may I respond orally? Typically, pursuant to the Nevada rules of criminal practice, the state has 10 days to file an opposition, but this was placed on calendar very quickly. So I would ask for leave of the court to answer orally.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm in receipt of Mr. Orum's motion for bail or any alternative for his own recognizance release. I would note that NRS 178.488 does make it discretionary upon this court whether you would allow bail pending appeal. Mr. DeCastro, there has been a briefing schedule set before Judge Levitt in district court on the appeal, but it's not set to be heard until July. It's discretionary, Your Honor, as with a lot of the bail settings in Nevada, it's discretionary. And the state would oppose this court setting a bail at this point.
Yeah. Well, first off, just want to say I appreciate that, Jim. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. But yeah, this is, all I can say is Chili's a character, and if you didn't know that already, I guess you know now, but that like it's a he was a character. He's still a character, and you know, no nobody wants to go to jail. Jail's not fun, you know. You're not, it doesn't make you a tough guy. You can deal with jail or not. It's just it's not meant for jail is not meant for human beings. It's meant as a punishment, and it's meant to dehumanize you. But yeah, he's dealing with this because yeah, to tell you the truth, I think they were crocodile tears. You know what? You you could be right, Cajun, but I'm thinking, why do that now instead of going in there? You know, I just don't. Like I said, I don't understand Chili. I don't understand why the way that he goes about doing things the way that he does. I just don't understand it. Even with his content, I just don't understand it. But like I'm saying, the character that Chili portrays on his channel, I believe that that is not who Chili really is. I don't think that's Jose de Castro. Chili is the character, the online persona that he puts on, and you know, I think that's somebody different than Jose de Castro. And I think it's to bring attention to his channel and to sell whatever products he's trying to sell. I don't, you know, I don't think that's him. Uh, you know, I still don't agree with anything that he does, but the what got me about this whole thing was the way that the case was handled. You know, it was so many things going on in this case that were just wrong from the start. From the start, you can tell the judge was biased. Yes, he was disrespectful, you can say, and he shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, you could tell the bias right away. Uh, the DA wasn't his lawyer was trash. He didn't object to anything that the DA said. It was plenty of things that he could have objected to. The cop sat there and lied on the stand, like right within 5 minutes. He told several lies. He switched up his story. I don't know if anybody caught it, but he switched up his story. He said, "Okay, well, first the issue was him talking to this person. First, he said everything was okay when he was standing there filming. Everything was okay then. He saw him standing there filming, and at that point, he didn't tell him he needed to back up 21 feet. He just let him stand there and film. So when his problem was when okay, Tilly started talking to the driver, the cop didn't like that apparently, or he made that okay. He made that into an officer safety issue or whatever. So Chili actually stopped talking to that driver, but then he kept asking him to back up and told him to back up. So he did back up. And based on this is all based on the officer testimony. So he asked him to back up. And first the officer said that he didn't back up. First he said he didn't back up. Then the lawyer asked him another question. So he's saying he backed up 0 feet? Well, he didn't back up 0 feet. He just didn't back up the amount that, you know, I really wanted. But the pivotal thing that made the cop actually arrest Chili was when he hurt his feelings and bruised his ego when he called him a little doggy. That is why he is serving 60 days right now. It's not because he was interfering. It's not obstruction. It's because he hurt his feelings. Those are the charges they used to charge him with, but though that wasn't the reason. So that is what maybe if he never said that, you know, whatever, but cops should not be policing based on their feelings. And that's why I had a problem with this case. And I can't believe that people weren't able to see it. You can say he brought this upon himself, but you also have to see that this was still based on the cop's ego. That's it. So if they're gonna start letting cops charge everybody for hurting their feelings, so if you are filming the scene and you call a cop a name, he come arrest you and say it's obstruction, and then they make up some BS story about you were too close. Like that can be anything. Imagine in protest, like you protesting something, eh, like this type of stuff can snowball into, well, you can't say anything because you might hurt the cops' feelings. And if you hurt their feelings, they're going to use that to justify charging you with, some BS like obstruction, or that's basically what this turned into. And for the people who can't, some people can't see that only because they don't like Chili. They look past all of that and just don't like Chili and feel like he's a big mouth that needs to be put in his place. Like that's what, in my opinion, that's what I saw happen here. That's why I don't like it. It really has nothing to do with Chili himself, or it's like I don't really, I don't have the best things to say about him personally. You know, and they think that I'm a supporter of Chili when no, I'm a supporter of real justice.
There seems to be this assumption that this court sentenced Mr. DeCastro to 6 months in the Clark County Detention Center just because of his conduct or his inappropriate conduct in court. I would venture to say that Your Honor presided over the trial where you found guilt beyond a reasonable doubt for both the obstructing a police officer and resisting a police officer. You saw his conduct in the body-worn camera by the officer. And I would venture to say, and I would submit to the court, that the 6-month sentence that you imposed isn't simply for his behavior in court or his behavior to your marshals, but that it is an appropriate sentence placed upon the defendant by the court due to the charges and the evidence that you saw during trial. There's also been this claim that Mr. DeCastro has stayed trouble-free for most of his life. I would venture to say, yes, he does not have felony convictions. He does not have gross misdemeanor convictions, but he does have pretty consistent contact with law enforcement. He does have a warrant out of Ohio for a trespass. And I understand that's a piddly misdemeanor. However, it is a warrant status. And he has a pending case in Las Vegas Justice Court for the very same offenses that the court heard during the trial here. As to the claim that, hey, there were issues before trial, and there should have been First Amendment issues raised or briefed prior to, Your Honor, defense counsel was able to argue the First Amendment defense. Your Honor heard these arguments both during the trial and during closing arguments. Mr. DeCastro, when he took the stand, raised them as a defense, but Your Honor held, after listening to all of the evidence and applying the law, or found him guilty regardless. This was not a First Amendment issue. The state stands by that. This was simply the defendant breaking the law. And he was sentenced accordingly for his behavior. It was conduct, it was a consequence, an appropriate sentence imposed by the court to the defendant. And so we would oppose any kind of change or any kind of bail setting or an OR at this point. This is not a pretrial detention. This is not a pretrial, as Valdez-Jimenez was cited also in defense counsel's motion. Valdez-Jimenez stands for pretrial detention. Mr. DeCastro is no longer cloaked with the presumption of innocence. He has been found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by Your Honor. And so at this point, I would ask that the 6 months sentence that you imposed stand and that he remain in custody.
No.
Can I ask the interpreter to quit reading? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So the interpreter over there,
Yeah, Merrick speaking.
Oh.
I was talking about the
Oh, I'm
English
sorry.
interpreter. Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor, the statute we cited is, in fact, just discretionary to you to determine on appeal, pending appeal, whether a bit of appeal bond can be issued. I hear the state, I recognize that you found it guilty. I'm not trying to in any way argue that. On appeal, there are legitimate issues. The court can see that, there are some First Amendment issues just from watching the video, things that a court could consider on appeal. And so that's the only basis I'm bringing that up on. But given the fact that I think he really is contrite for what he's done.
I disagree. Have you watched the videos that have been posted since he's been incarcerated?
I'm in a murder trial.
So
So I had a chance.
So he's gonna apologize to me in a minute, but that's not what he's saying on what he's publishing online in his phone calls from the jail. That's not.
You see, so they're obviously they're watching him, they're watching everything he do, and they don't like it. This is bigger than I just can't imagine this judge is sitting up there watching YouTube videos about her and having her feelings hurt, and then taking that into a courtroom and saying, you hurt my feelings and I don't like you, or I don't like anything that you stand for. So I'm going to disregard anything that has to do with law and basically sentence you to teach you a lesson. Basically, that's all that's happening here. They're trying to teach him a lesson. And that is, you need to respect us. And, this is, it's crazy what they're doing. It's just absolutely crazy what they're doing. Mind you, Chili needs to move smarter. He always needed to move smarter, but he's Chili. He's kind of a hothead, or that's the character that he plays.
Not what he's saying at all. And are you aware that he has a trial pending in Las Vegas Municipal Court? He has a case pending in Good Springs Justice Court where he continues to manufacture situations where he'll get arrested.
Your Honor, I recognize that's what he was.
So she said it. So she's saying that he's manufacturing scenarios that gets him arrested versus just manufacturing a scenario to get arrested would mean you are intentionally committing a crime, or you're committing a crime. Not that you're going there and you just exercising your freedom of speech. Even if they say antagonizing police, they like to say that a lot, but that's not illegal. If he wanted to intentionally get arrested, he would just go commit a crime, an actual crime, not just hurt cops' ego or, troll cops. That's not intentionally wanting to get arrested. And if you want to intentionally get arrested, you would commit a crime.
Sort of doing.
So being the fact that he doesn't actually commit a crime, they'll make up a crime, and then since the judge doesn't like him personally, like she's another person that doesn't like him personally, that she'll look past the cop lying. It's obvious that the cop had his feelings hurt when he called him little doggy, and that's why we here right now. But since he wasn't respectful to her in the courtroom, or one of her officers that worked there, since he called him a pig, she wants to teach him a lesson. This is all about teaching him a lesson. This isn't about justice.
For a living, and this is he's now being incarcerated.
Right.
And
So what he's saying in the couple of weeks since he's been incarcerated, when he calls from the jail and publishes them on his website, is not what he's about to say to me. Okay, so he's gonna apologize to me now, but that's not what he's doing publicly, okay?
yes, sure. I hear that. I won't have him speak at this time, but I would still ask you, to consider that there may be legitimate issues. I think there are for Judge Levitt to consider. And I think these are sort of issues of first impression. That was the other thing I saw, is that in the state of Nevada, I can't find any case law that specifically talks about this filming of police officers. What I would say to the court is I recognize that it's obnoxious behavior. That's what it appears to be. Whether it's protected is another thing that I think higher courts need to look at. But
What he said, I could somewhat agree with. You can say it's obnoxious the way that he does it, not the action itself, but the way that he does it. You can say that, but that's not a crime. That's not illegal.
I can see if the court has already made up the court's
Well,
mandate.
I want to be clear, I did not have a problem with him filming, and I said that when I sentenced him. That was not the issue, it was the safety issues that he created with his behavior. And I also did not.
It's not the safety issues. It's not him recording. It's him saying certain things that may hurt their feelings. That's the issue that they have with him. They don't want him to say anything that will hurt their feelings.
Sentence him because of his ridiculous behavior in court. That wasn't why I
Okay.
sentenced him to jail. I sentenced him because I found him guilty beyond reasonable doubt, and I thought that was the appropriate sentence. I could have given him 180 days on each count and ran it consecutive for a year in jail, but I didn't. And his behavior was unacceptable in court, but that's not what I sentenced him for. I did not sentence him for his behavior in court.
Yes.
I sentenced him for his behavior for the 2 charges that he faced.
No, you did.
Yes, sure.
All right, so your motion is denied. Thank you.
Thank you.
She is terrible. She is terrible. She know that this is simply to teach him a lesson based on you don't talk. She basically saying you don't talk to my officers like that. You don't talk to any law enforcement like that. And, we're going to show you that you can't disrespect us or hurt our feelings or our egos. We have the power. And now you see, that's basically what happened right here. That's what she's trying to display, and not what she's trying to display, what she did display.
Not what I sentenced him for. I did not sentence him for his behavior in court. I sentenced him for his behavior for the 2 charges that he faced.
Yes, sure.
All right, so your motion is denied. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. The motion is denied. I hate all this groveling and humbling oneself before her honor. I hate all this stuff. And no human being should ever accept that somebody would want to grab the ring of power so that other people can grovel at their feet. Just tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not giving any kind of legal advice or anything in this. I'm just giving you my perspective on this. No apology should be made. No. The only crime that was committed was the crime of the officer and putting his hands on a guy who's just video recording. And I saw a couple people saying that Long Island Audit is being arrested as we speak right now. Maybe we can go to that. But also Jersey Watcher said something about getting out a story. And I guess Jersey Watcher's in the room. Jersey Watcher, if you want me to take a look at something, put it in the, just send me an email, contact@highimpactflix.com, Jersey Watcher. So if you got something you want me to take a look at, shoot me a video, contact@highimpactflix.com. Here, I'll put it in the chat. This is for Jersey Watcher.
And, I agree with him. I just don't like you trying to, how they want people to basically grovel and beg to, they're just tyrants. Like, they get in these positions just so they have power over other people, not because they want to affect change, not because they want to see things be handled in a just way. They just do it to simply have power over people, and that's sick. And for you, I just see that type of person, to me, is a very small and weak person, if they need to do that to make themselves feel powerful. I never liked that. And throughout my whole life, I never felt like somebody was above me. And I know people like to look at other people's and look at people and think that, like, give off this persona or whatever, like they're better than other people. I just never accepted that. So, when certain people get around me or I get around certain people and they notice that persona, I don't even recognize it. Or if I do see that they have that, it doesn't affect me, and it doesn't, I'm not going to bow down to this, I don't know, this weird way that people, it's just a weird thing to me. And I never understood it, and I never will. But let's see what he's I'm about to pull up now.
Yeah, Jersey Watcher. If you can do that right now, I'd appreciate it because I get covered up with emails and I just want to take a look at it and see
What's
what
up,
you got.
Joe?
But real quick on this, let me go back to when Orem, and people are asking, is this the same attorney that was defending Chili before? No, this guy right here is kind of like an appellate attorney. His name is Chris Orem. The other guy was Michael Mee. Listen to what this guy says.
Court could consider on appeal, and so that's the only basis I'm bringing that up on. But given the fact that I think he really is contrite for what he's done.
That shouldn't matter. I think he's contrite. I think he's apologetic. I think he's really, really sorry about what he did in court. That shouldn't even be weighed in this case. That should all be irrelevant. It should have been irrelevant in the first hearing where Judge Zimmerman, just gave him 90 days consecutive, 290 days consecutive for obstructing and resisting. It should have been irrelevant. What should have been relevant was there a crime committed? And Zimmerman, I'm talking to you. Was there a crime committed? Was someone harmed? Was there a real material victim? Was there a law broken? Was there a lawful order given? Did Chili not back up? Oh, maybe he didn't back up as much as Officer Bork would like him to back up, but there was no defining guideline. He didn't say back up 5 feet. I need you to back up 25 feet. He just said, I need you to back up. And then you allowed him to lie on the stand. Ann Zimmerman, if you've watched my videos, Bork lied on the stand. You should throw it out on that alone, let alone the fact that Chili DeCastro didn't violate anybody's rights. Nobody was harmed. There was no crime committed. There was no lawful order given because there was no law saying that he couldn't do the very thing he was doing. Refer to Houston versus Hill. Roy Hill actually broke a city ordinance, and the Supreme Court said, hey, that city ordinance was unconstitutional. Of course he can record law enforcement officials as they're going about their duty. And I'm hearing that people are giving me credit for Chili being in jail. Let's see. People, of course, making fun of him. I don't think there should be any show of contrition at all in the court. The court doesn't care about you. The court functionaries don't care about you. All they care about is generating money and exercising power. This is what it's all about for the court.
That's it. Because if this was about justice, if this was about the right thing, then the judge would have done the right thing. This was all, nothing about this said justice. Nothing about this said, oh, justice was served. This was about a cop with a bruised ego and a judge with a bias. It's crazy. And the DA, the DA is really doing what the DA is supposed to do. But it's the fact that his lawyer didn't even try to object to anything that the DA was presenting, which is sad. This had to be one of the easiest cases that this DA has ever had to participate in. This has to be the easiest one. Like, okay, so I got my client uh actually lied on the stand, changed the story, and and nobody objected, and I still was able to win the case. Like, I know she's thinking in her mind like, this was a cakewalk.
In my opinion. I'm hearing that people are giving me credit for Chili being in jail because I did a video. Give me a break, man. No crime was committed. Show me, Ann Zimmerman, what crime was committed. You're saying that it was all officer safety. Well, you know, the unconstitutional ruling of Terry v. Ohio says, hey, officer safety trumps individual rights. Pennsylvania versus Mims, officer safety trumps individual rights. Nothing should ever trump individual rights. And when you put your hand on that Bible and raise your right hand toward heaven, saying, I'm going to protect and defend the Constitution, you're saying you're going to protect and defend the rights of every single American. Every American. And nothing will ever get in the way of you looking at that objectively and saying, nope, this right has to be upheld. Officer safety be damned. Anybody's discomfort in public be damned. If you're in a public place, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy, period. What happened here is a travesty of justice, because now you've tied up taxpayer money to support a guy in prison who literally is not a harm to anybody except to the powers that shouldn't be, who don't want to be recorded. And I do mean powers that shouldn't be. So bringing this back around, who put a 1 in the room if you want to see what's going on with Long Island audit. I'm not aware of what was happening until I saw what you guys were saying in the chat room. Or maybe we should just do a separate video. Maybe we should just leave this closed. You know, I'm not sure throwing more money is gonna, is the solution here. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, the solution is obviously that judges and lawyers and bailiffs and police officers do what is right. But what's this right here? Jail terminates call.
That's wild.
So let me, what's this right here? Jail terminates call.
It looked like he was able to raise about 20K, for this. And, at this point, I don't, this was already bad, but, Chili made it worse. It was already bad, but he made it worse. There's a lot of things that he could have done differently that may have gave him a better outcome than the situation that he's in now. But the entire situation that he's in now, he shouldn't even be in. Cool Kid said, Chili's not in jail. His pompous attitude is. And that's really what happened here. His attitude is why he's in jail right now. Or I don't even think that's his real attitude. I think that's the online version of him. It's why his real self is in there right now. Like, I tell people that's why I don't, when I go out there, I'm not putting on the suit and saying, oh, I'm this type of person. And I go there as me. I don't do extra stuff to get more views. I don't intentionally try to make my video more entertaining by, doing the verbal battle to see who is more verbally equipped for the situation. Like, oh, you didn't tell him like it was, or you didn't, that's my way of going about this, is just to show y'all how crazy it is And the points that I make, I'm not really trying to prove my point to the officer. I'm just trying to lay it out there so the people can see and let the people be the judge. It's like I told AW, Chili could learn a few things from him. Yeah, is he is way too high strung, and I think he knows it. But I think it's more for entertainment purposes. It's, you know, I think it's more for entertainment. And but even if that's the case, he still shouldn't be in the situation that he's in right now. Like you could argue the same thing about Eli. You know, in Eli's channel, Eli goes. He basically he's basically like a different version of Chili. But when Eli does it, I believe that is really Eli. That's not Eli a putting on a suit or putting on a persona for his video. I think that's him, whether you're recording or not. I think that's Eli. If Eli had to go through this, I don't think that would change Eli. I don't think Eli would start crying and become, or apologize for being Eli. I think Chili is apologizing for the image that he portrayed, or like Randy said earlier, it's just like he's crying to, I guess, crocodile tears. But I just don't, I don't think he's I think very few people who goes about this the way Chili does. I don't think they are really like that, and like that's completely their personality. I think a lot of them are putting on a image to maybe be more entertaining, or get more views or whatever it may be. But I think that there's very few people who are actually like that. So some people that I think that's just them. Big Nick, South, what is it? South Florida Accountability. I think that might be his personality. Uh, the Resistance Channel, Eli. Uh, who else has that kind of abrasive approach to this? But I believe that they really are. That's like their personality. I don't think they're just doing it for. I don't think they're becoming that just for entertainment purposes or whatever. It's when I was younger, kids like that always got me acting tough. Yeah, like some people are really have that, but most people aren't really like that. What's up, Brandon? Chili has cried on lives when he's talking about how police mistreated him. Yeah, whatever, he shouldn't be locked up for 6 months. I agree, Claudette. I don't agree with him being charged for this. I don't believe him being arrested that day was right. None of that was right. But like I said, I tell people you have to be ready with whatever comes with this. So if that's the energy you're gonna give to this, to doing this, and when you're out there, you need to be prepared for that. That's why I tell people you need to really be like what you try to portray. Like me, I'm not a hothead like that. Like I really think things through before I make moves. Now, if somebody gets me to a certain level, then that's a difference, and it might be a switch. But I don't just go 0 to 100 just based off of nothing. You know, and I'm not doing this just so I can show people that, you know, I don't do it for show. So if you see me get to a point where now I'm screaming and yelling, or you know, I'm being a certain way, it's because I have reached that boiling point. I didn't manufacture my boiling point. I think a lot of people manufacture their boiling point. If y'all get what I'm saying with that, I know y'all understand what I'm saying. But that's what I think he does. I think he manufactures his boiling point. EA Free Chili, please donate to Free Chili and local homeless share not to prevent the waste. Oh, so EA poll is trolling right now. So what do you feel about the corruption that happened in that case, EA poll? What about the corruption? What about the corrupt judge? What about the cop lying? What about, you know, his lawyer not objecting to anything? What about the travesty of justice? What do you have anything to say about that, or are you just focused on this personality of Chili? Or is that just what you're focusing on? That's why I say y'all so obsessed with Chili that y'all can't see. Y'all forget about right and wrong. Y'all forget about corruption. Y'all forget about everything else and just focus on this person. You make this personal. You make it so personal. When I'm not even approaching this in a personal way. You saying free, like, I tell you, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan of the way he does things. No corruption at all. So EA poll says no corruption at all. So when the cop lied on the stand and changed the story, and nobody objected to it, and the judge act like she didn't hear him lie and things like, none of that was corrupt. The judge took all the info at hand and made a reasonable verdict. If that's your version of reasonable, and get out of here. EA poll is, you know, something's wrong with you. Brandon say free Eric. Is that Brant? Let me save. Okay. I don't agree with him, but his sentencing was 100% wrong. Exactly. It was not right at all. And the people, I can't believe people are really saying that nothing was corrupt about this case and the judge did the right thing. And y'all, I know y'all don't believe that. Y'all just don't like Chili. That's it. Just say, I don't care if this was right or wrong. I just don't like Chili. Be honest. Just be honest and say that. You don't have to lie and say, oh, everything was done the right way. Just stand on what you really feel. Just stand on that. Just say, I wouldn't care if he just say, I wouldn't care if this was right or wrong, or they did I just don't like him, and I don't care if they had to be corrupt to put him away. I'm just glad he got put away. Just say that. because that's how you really feel. You, it's no way you could watch that trial and say, oh, everything the judge did, there was nothing going on. There was no bias. The cop obviously lied and went back on it several times, changed his story, changed the, you know, first he was okay by his testimony. He was okay when he was standing there recording. That was okay. Then he started talking to the driver, and the cop didn't like that, so he told him not to talk to the driver and to back up. Then he said Chili didn't back up when Chili absolutely he backed up several times. And then the lawyer first he said he didn't back up. Then he said, oh, he did back up, but it wasn't the amount that I wanted him to back up. But he never told him a specific distance. He said I would have guided him to the area that I wanted him to back up to instead of just telling him. If he's a threat, why would you approach the threat versus saying the command from a distance? Like it, come on. Y'all don't make no sense. I have no like or dislike for Chip. Stop lying. Now you just lying. You just lying. That's why I can't take y'all serious. Y'all just now you lying about the whole situation. Claudette says exactly AWB. AWB, this isn't right in any way possible. It's not. Whether you like a person, dislike a person, it's just not right. And the only way that you could look past all of that is just because you don't like Chili as a person. That's the only way that you can look past all of that. And if that's the case, just say that. I would respect it more if you just said that. You would still be, a traitor in my opinion, but at least you would be standing on it. Exactly, Brandon. She let her feelings get involved. Now EA Post says you should grow up and get a life and get a job. Get out of here, man. I definitely have a life that I'm living and having a great time, man. You played yourself. And the people everybody in the chat will let you know, EA Post, you just played yourself. You just played yourself. Claudette says, how is it okay for a judge to ignore a cop lying under oath in her court? It's like, come on. It was blatant. And I can't, and what the main thing is that his lawyer didn't object to it or didn't even point it out. Like you're not even going to point that out. So anyone who disagrees with you is a liar. No, that's not what I'm saying. But see, this is why I just don't trust, and I just can't deal with people like you, because you do stuff like that. Now you're trying to say that everybody who disagree with me is a liar. No, I know. Why would I? That's stupid. No, a liar is just a liar. There's the truth, then there's the lie. You're not being truthful if you say that this case wasn't a miscarriage of justice. You're a liar if you say the judge was being reasonable. You're a liar if you say you didn't hear the cop lie in his testimony. He not only did he lie, he changed his story. He changed his story to fit wherever it needed to fit. To, like, come on. People disagree with me all the time. I'm not always right. I'm not even a person who thinks they're always right. A lot of times I am right, but I don't just automatically assume that I'm right. I take the time to look at things from many different perspectives, angles. I don't just see one way. That's a pretty accurate statement. I might I kind of agree with you here with Cool Kid. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, or until shots get fired, then everything switches up. Then Gloria said, "I love Chili. He's a good friend of mine, but the judge was wrong. It was anybody else. I feel the same way." See, so now you have Gloria is actually a friend of Chili, so she may know Chili on a different level outside of his online persona. Now I ask you this, Gloria: is Chili online the same as Chili offline? I don't think so. I think he does that to get his story out there or get his point across. Sometimes you have to do things a certain way for people to really pay attention. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. But this whole stream ended up being about, you know, this was supposed to be about me reaching 10K subscribers and that being a celebration. And it turned into this. And only because that's like the major thing that's going on right now. That's all it just amazed me at the amount of comments are in support of corruption and tyranny. And this particular person happens to be at the front of that. The bottom line is if you don't like or he exactly. Y'all Brandon, um, y'all help Brandon get to his next milestone. He's almost at 1,500. Y'all help him get there. Help him get to 1,500 at least. Brandon, if you send me an email, I can, you know, talk to you about how you can reach that number. Um, I've been working on a way to grow channels pretty not quickly, but you'll get there as long as you put in the work. You can get there. See, now here's some honesty right here. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really have a opinion on Chili personally because I don't know him personally. I just don't agree, or I'm not a fan of the way he conducts, you know, or his methods to getting things done. But who am I to try to tell another man how he should be? Nobody gonna tell me. So Wow. He said, I'm sitting on probation for the tone of New York speech. I can't get out and do much. I don't want to get. Oh yeah, see, and that's another thing. Like certain people from different areas are a certain way. Like somebody from New York or just up north, I would say New York though. They have a very, I'm not even gonna say aggressive because a lot of times it's not really. I don't see it as, I see it as like, maybe you could call it assertive. Like it's, they just seem very assertive and excited about certain things, and I think it gets mistaken as aggression. Not saying that some people aren't just full on aggressive, but I think it's more of, that's kind of how you got to be in that area if you want to, be heard. But say that person goes to a a different, slower pace, more lax, lax place, and they take their personality from there and take it here. People will misunderstand that and say, "Oh, they're being so aggressive. I thought they were finna attack me when they was just having a regular conversation with you. You was just kind of sensitive." Oh, you said Brandon from Kansas. So, oh, he said he in Kansas right now. Cool kid. Like, you're right. I, I don't write checks that just can't. Hey, you got to be ready for it. Exactly, Claudette. That's what I'm saying. People just have different ways of conducting themselves, and it's the fact that cops aren't able to deal with this. They're supposed to be able to deal with many different people because they're working with the public every single day, but it's like they only can deal with the people who bow down to them. That's the only person. That's the only type of person that they can deal with and have a good reaction with. Somebody who's gonna just bow down and give up their rights. That's the only type of, that's the only person they can deal with. Anybody else is causing the problem. They're, all of this other stuff. Wow, for internal affairs complaints. They say their personal information. That's a lie. They they giving you the runaround. You and that's another thing. Like you once you start pulling back the layers, peeling the onion, you start to see how wicked and how corrupt things actually are. If you never decided to go check out certain things, then you would think everything's okay. I don't see no big problems. But as soon as you start, checking some stuff out, like just try randomly going to a city that where most people don't go and look to check out the city budget. Like most people don't do it. Like you go up to check, hey, say I want to see the budget. I want to see the CFR. Well, what do you need the CFR for? What's going on? Like they it's like they start, you know, oh, we got citizens paying attention, wanting to know what's going on. What are you doing? What, you know, you go in there filming. What are you filming for? Everybody gets to panicking. What is going on? Yeah, it's, Brandon say, no man. Yeah, you know, like I'm saying, when I say Chili can handle, he could have conducted himself better. I'm gonna say that. You know, he could have. Yeah, man. They really trying to crush him on this one. But anyway, y'all, that's it. I really just came on here to thank everybody for helping me reach 10K and talk about the ideas moving forward with the channel. So like I said, I'm going to be really focusing on adding value to the membership. I'm working on a few things that I'll be announcing a little bit later, but I want to make sure I have them actually done before I announce it. But definitely that's what I'm focusing on, adding value for members in the membership uh, after this 10K milestone. You know, I also have my travel channel. It's called TWB Traveling While Black. I think Karen may have put it in the description earlier, but yeah. So if y'all want to check that channel out, I'm slowly adding content to that channel as well. But my main focus is really this channel. I kind of, when I have time, that's when I kind of put some focus on that channel. But this channel is the one that I give a lot of time and energy to. But yeah, but whose side is he on? He say 10,000 subs. Congrats. Thank you all. Thank you, Karen, for dropping that. And yeah, y'all. We really gotta sit and focus and you know, really evaluate how people's personal feelings can cause them to ignore objective facts. Like it's okay to feel how you feel, have your thoughts on certain things, your thoughts and opinions, but you cannot just disregard blatant facts and you know, you just can't do it. Like I don't care how I feel about something personally. If you know, I'm not gonna let it have more control over me than my logic and you know, critical thinking. But yeah, y'all, AWB, I'm out. I catch y'all later. Like I said, be on the lookout for a few new things coming to the channel. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. AWB, I'm out. It's always hard to end this because I want to keep, you know, talking with y'all, but I got some stuff I got handled today.